You just checked your bank account. You made $50,000 this year, but somehow, you're down to your last $100 before payday. That sinking feeling in your stomach, the stress of deciding which bill to pay first, isn't because you're failing, it's because you haven't been given a simple system to manage it. You don't need a degree in finance to fix this. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to master your money using the 50/30/20 rule. Let's break down your reality. If you earn $50,000 a year, your monthly take-home pay is likely around $3,300 after taxes. When you don't have a plan, that money evaporates. You pay rent, grab a few coffees, buy groceries, and suddenly, it's gone. Most people stay stuck because they treat budgeting like a restriction rather than a blueprint. They try to cut out everything they enjoy, burn out in a week, and go back to their old habits. You aren't broke because you buy a latte, you're broke because your money doesn't have a specific destination. Without a system, your income will always be just enough to survive, but never enough to build the life you actually want. The 50/30/20 rule is your financial roadmap. It divides your income into 3 clear buckets: needs, wants, and savings. First, we look at the needs bucket, which is 50% of your take-home pay. At $3,300 a month, that's $1,650 for your survival. This covers your rent, utilities, basic groceries, and essential transportation. If these expenses exceed $1,650, you have a structural problem. You are living above your means. Before you try to cut costs, write down every single need from the last 30 days. Use a free tool like GoodBudget or a simple spreadsheet to track where this money flows. If your rent is too high, it might be time for a roommate or a move. Your goal here is to keep this bucket at or below that 50% mark so your foundation remains stable. The second bucket is your wants. This is 30% of your take-home pay, or $990. This is the secret to why this method actually works. Most people feel guilty about spending money, so they overspend secretly. Here, you are allowed $990 to enjoy your life. This covers dining out, streaming subscriptions, new clothes, or that weekend trip. The key is to be honest with yourself. If you categorize a grocery store run that was 80% snacks as a need, you're cheating yourself. Put your wants in this bucket. If you love going to the movies, budget for it. If you love gaming, buy the games. Because you've already allocated the money, you can spend it completely guilt-free. You aren't depriving yourself, you are simply managing your lifestyle within a defined, healthy limit. Finally, the 20% bucket, savings and debt repayment. This is $660 a month. This is your future. This is the money that stops you from relying on credit cards when an emergency hits. If you have high-interest debt, every single penny of this 20% should go toward knocking it out. Once your debt is gone, this money builds your emergency fund and eventually goes into investments. It sounds small, but $660 a month invested consistently is over $7,900 a year. Over a decade, with compound interest, this builds a safety net that most people never achieve. If you feel like you can't save 20% right now, start at 5% or 10%. The goal is to build the muscle of paying yourself first, even if the amount feels small at the beginning. The biggest challenge is consistency. The best way to maintain this system is automation. Don't rely on your willpower to remember to put that $660 into savings every month. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking to your savings account the day after you get paid. If you have trouble staying on top of where your money goes daily, you need to use a tracker. Manual tracking is fine for a while, but eventually, you want an app that syncs with your bank so you can see your 50/30/20 percentages in real time. Once you automate the savings and track the expenses, the anxiety of, where did it go, disappears. You'll have data, and with data, you can make informed decisions instead of panic-based ones. If you are struggling to track these numbers manually, I highly recommend checking out a NAB or Rocket Money. These tools pull your transactions automatically and categorize them, showing you exactly how much of your budget is left for the month. It takes the guesswork out of the 50/30/20 rule and prevents the manual labor that causes most people to quit budgeting after a week. You can find links to both of these tools in the description below. They are game changers for anyone tired of spreadsheets and manual math. Give them a try, and let the software handle the heavy lifting while you focus on the progress. To recap, your needs are 50%, your wants are 30%, and your future self savings are 20%. Start by tracking your current spending to see where you sit today, then automate your savings to ensure you pay yourself first. If you found this helpful, watch my video on how to build a $1,000 emergency fund next to get your 20% bucket started. Hit that subscribe button for more straightforward money strategies that actually work. See you in the next one.